Hello, Internet! Welcome! We have a little bit of an early Christmas treat here for you. I have requested and received early-ish access to Ebenezer and the Invisible World, an upcoming metroidvania, which I was quite interested in when I played the demo of it. I thought it was quite interesting indeed, but apparently it wasn't particularly well received by the Metroidvania purists, shall we say. Now, as somebody who's played many Metroidvania games, I do mean many, we're getting close to probably 80 plus Metroidvania games that I've played over the course of my far too many years of life. I didn't think it was particularly warranting of the critique that it was receiving, but I am not a Metroidvania purist. I like what I like, and I shall play what I want to play. But we've got more than that, because of course, I am also, in my spare time, a teacher of English literature. And A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens is one of my favourite books to teach. A morality story, as such, that Dickens wrote to try and get the rich and snobby individuals in London in his time to be a little bit more charitable, which I think probably in 2023 is something that maybe some of the rich and powerful could possibly do with having a little bit of a brush up on. I'm not allowed to play... Well, I'm allowed to play the entire game. I'm not allowed to show you the entire game. I am actually under embargo until the 2nd of November, which is when the game officially comes out. So I can't give you a score, but I can show you some of, I'm not entirely sure how much of, the game. Interestingly enough, we seem to have some demo stuff. Some of the stuff is, for some reason, not in English. I'm not entirely sure why this is. I'm hoping it doesn't work with the actual subtitles, because that would kind of suck. I've got English selected. Something has gone horribly wrong. Jacob Marley allowed you to see the invisible world, and only someone such as you can help someone such as me. What sort of help could a spirit possibly need from me? Are you familiar with the Malthus family? Somewhat. Rich industrialists, they keep to themselves for the most part. Unfortunately, there is more to them than that. On with it, spirit. I haven't got all day. Tell me your story. And so I shall. Let me tell you the story of Caspar Malthus and the Malthus family dream. The Malthus family has always resided in the shadows of London high society, a truly heartless lineage who view the downtrodden of London as a cancer that would spread until a means of excising it could be found. While such cruel machinations have always existed, with the rise of modern industry, some members of the Malthus family felt a new age was soon dawning where this solution could present itself. Driving this new rhetoric was Gaius Malthus. He seized upon the city's industrial expansion and turned their family from mere aristocracy into an empire of industry. His factories swelled with the poor working people of London. He's a nasty-looking man, is he? He offered these workers horrid conditions and little pay in exchange for their back-breaking labour. All the while he planned for a day where he could rid the world of the lot of them. However, cruelty is a flame that burns one's candle twice as fast. Gaius died suddenly, and I dare say we are all of us the better for it. With the death of the Malthus family patriarch, command of their empire fell to Caspar Malthus, his only surviving son. Caspar was a dear friend from my mortal youth, who I remember as a happy and joyous boy who loved the world around him. I hoped that he would choose to take the Malthus family in a new direction. He's got amazing sideburns. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Working conditions worsened and the cruelty of the Malthus family continued. However, I refuse to believe that Caspar has gone so far down this path that he could not be redeemed. It was 1 year ago tonight, Christmas Eve, that I paid Caspar a visit. I appeared before Caspar, much like Jacob Marley appeared before you, and warned him that the heavy chains forged from his own cruelty would condemn his spirit forever. To avoid this fate, he would need to set himself on a path to redemption. It should come as no surprise to you, Ebenezer, that Caspar was also visited by 3 Christmas spirits that night. Each in turn showed him memories of his past, scenes from his present, and events from his potential future, all with the purpose to put him on this better path. But of all the images that Caspar was shown that night, it was the ghost of Christmas yet to come that had the most profound effect. Caspar was shown a decrepit old man, locked in his study and resting on the mountain as to try whatever that is, of failed designs and concepts. Refuse littered the floors, creating an extraordinarily unpleasant smell about the place. Caspar could feel the vast emptiness within the massive halls of the man's home and knew he had been alone for a long time. Whoever he once was, he now only existed as the architect of some obsessive project. It was then that Caspar began to recognize the room, the portraits and books on the walls, and the familial features of the old man's haggard face. He was gazing at a visage of his future self. But the ghost of Christmas yet to come hadn't brought Caspar here to simply gaze upon the man he would become, but to witness the man's ultimate triumph. Caspar had achieved the Malthus family dream. Whether it was a power source, engine, or some infernal mechanism, I cannot say, but I do know it was the catalyst that would sever the workers from society. In the midst of the old man's jubilation, the ghost of Christmas yet to come raised his finger and pointed at this frail future visage, not wanting Caspar to miss a moment of what came next. The old man's cries of exultation would be his last. This moment of excitement after decades of despair and neglect were too much for his worn heart. Caspar watched his future self begin to die before his eyes. Caspar's eyes soon withdrew from the old man. He watched instead the device, the culmination of his life's work, his family's dreams fall from withered hand and shatter on the floor. At that moment, Caspar and his future self both saw that everything they had spent their lives pursuing, every sacrifice or cruel and heartless act, would all amount to nothing. They would die alone, unloved, and forgotten. With that, Caspar was returned to his own time in a state that I perceived to mean he had been profoundly changed by the ordeal. I left him then, so that he could contemplate what he had just witnessed. I felt confident that he would see the lonely path his life was on and make the changes that would lead him to something or other. I didn't see that. However, what I did foresee was that there would be another visitor that night, one who did not want to change too fast. A dark spirit emerged from the shadows and confronted Caspar, laughing at the silly images the Christmas spirits had shown him. Caspar pled to the horrifying intruder that he did not want to meet the same fate that he witnessed this night. The dark spirit smiled and reminded him that he had only been shown a possible future, one that now need not transpire. He told Caspar that the Christmas spirits had carelessly presented a new opportunity for the Malthus family. Caspar had been allowed to observe the workings of the old man's future device. With this knowledge, he could recreate it in the present. He was told he could help create the world that his family had always wanted. He'd only be strong enough to put aside silly morality plays and take appropriate action. With that, Caspar turned his back on a better path. A year hence, and he has almost finished using this unnaturally gained knowledge to bring himself to the precipice of his family's ultimate dream, to crush the poor workers of the city under the gears of industrial progress. Yet, despite all of this, I remember my old boyhood friend Caspar, and I cannot bring myself to believe that he is beyond the hope of redemption. Now you know my story. I need a mortal to help my old friend find redemption before he's beyond salvation. The Christmas spirits will not come to my aid a second time. It's up to you to find the peace of Caspar's past, present, and future and convince him to choose a better path. If there is a pathway to redemption for Caspar, it will weave through the people in his life that mean most to him and knew him well. That is all well and good, but even if you knew Caspar Malthus once as a good man, that was some time ago. How can you be sure that such a person still exists? I confess I am not well informed on the metamorphosis that transpired in him. It is imperative that we unravel how he became the man he is today. Caspar kept a journal in the London Observatory, secreted away from the prying eyes of his father. If that journal is still there, It may help us understand how he drifted so far from how I remember him. Gallivanting about as a spirit's lackey was not how I intended to spend my holidays. But I suppose in all fairness I too was once a man that had lost his way. It took the esteemed presence of my dear friend Jacob Marley to set me straight. Very well, Spirit. I will find Caspar's journal. Thank you, Ebenezer. You must exercise the utmost caution tonight. Caspar has already put into motion his plan to displace the workers of London. Workers are protesting, and soon there will be a standoff between the protesters and the Malthus private guard. The guard has been deployed to patrol the streets, no doubt eager to showcase their mettle to anyone sympathetic towards the plight of the workers. So, amidst this cacophony of mounting chaos, you expect me to venture into a whirlwind of further disorder and confusion? I must say, Spirit, your timing couldn't be more inconvenient. So, I have no idea if there was anything different between this this version and the demo. Be careful outside, sir. There have been protests recently here in London. They have become quite dangerous. I see they have still kept the same font as in the demo, which I was not a massive fan of. I just think that it's not very readable. Got a backdash. Got a cane. Fezziwig! How pleasant to see the bright face of my former employer.
Hello, Ebenezer. You have made much of yourself since you work for my company. I am here to provide assistance as you advance in your quest.
Thank you. I am very grateful. There's never been a limit to your generosity.
Press that to access your map. London is a big city with many places to explore, and the map is essential to make your way through the city.
Yes. The map seems pretty much identical to how it was. Not sure the exact size of the rooms. There we go. I was going to say Ebenezer's mansion was on there somewhere. Stave 1, main quest. Go to the workers' strike in the London city centre. Red berries have been found. Now, the one thing about this game that, well, one of several things that I thought could potentially be... Blank. Yes. One thing this game does, which I'm not a huge fan of when... it's not just Metrovanias, but games in general do it. This is one of the reasons why I don't like the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom games. The constant reliance on picking up and using consumables to get back teeny tiny bits of health. I find that somewhat annoying. Now again, it depends on whether they've made any changes to this based on feedback that they may have received from the demo. Ah, Ebenezer, it's Christmas time again. Thank you for your kindness this year. You have truly changed. Thanks, Tim. Nice to see you are not dead. That sounds quite harsh, but obviously if you've read A Christmas Carol, so many in this city in what work without a penny to their name, how soon will it be before they perish of hunger? Mr. Scrooge can jump quite well. The affluent and bourgeois go about their day in blissful ignorance of the workers' plight, but it shall not be long before Malthus is pressured to quell these protests. Give us back our jobs! Give us back our dignity! Ebenezer, that protester just ahead is in peril and requires aid. Can you intercede on my behalf? Please don't. I surrender. You there! Cease your unwarranted assault on that man this instant. Yes, he may have committed his fair share of transgressions, but he has clearly surrendered himself, hasn't he? You and your friends are naught but the surplus population. Accept your fate, you pitiable swine. Bloom. You're next, old codger. Dodge enemy attacks using backdash. Take that! Mark my words, this shall be reported to somebody. Thank you, kind sir. Let me help you home. No, I'll be fine. You need to find a safe haven, for Warren Gastrell's a merciless fellow, and you are in grave peril in his presence. He is not just neutralising protesters. With the Malthus private guards, he has hunted anyone involved in the protests. And I'll come for you too. I am well aware of the pressing need for self-preservation today. Thank you very much. Eric, why are you utterly useless in extending aid to that man? You content with being a mere spectator, an impotent bystander in the face of distress? Ebenezer, while you can see spirits and intervene in the affairs of mortals, I cannot. I wish to aid that man, but like all spirits chained to the mortal world, I'm prevented from acting on that desire. However, since you helped that man on my behalf, I should now be able to come to your assistance when you need it. Eric Fellows has joined you. A lot of these screens are disappearing before I've got time to read them, which isn't massively helpful. Ebenezer requires spirit to summon attack ghosts. Regain spirit by hitting enemies with your cane. Yeah, see, some of the tutorial screens give us the option of pressing B to continue. But many don't. Okay, we still have to be on the ground to transition between screens. On the far west of the city is the old Jonathan Bedlam Asylum. I've always had a feeling there was something strange going on there, but I could never prove it. It's a dangerous place now in any case. You should stay away for your own safety. I will do, because that's all I'm allowed to play up to before the embargo lifts. Well, no. That's all I'm allowed to show before the embargo lifts. The hand-drawn art is still very nice. Was this? Blut blut. Blut blut. Yes, I vaguely recall this being a thing. Oh no. The gas. Ah! Yes, so we are simply battering people unconscious with arcane. We are not a murderer. Okay. So this is... Yeah, so this is the asylum. So we can't... I can't show you anything in that. I believe I can show you that room because that room was in the demo. So I don't think I'm doing anything untoward there. But we can't... But we can't make any progress there. Why are these not loading? One thing that I never quite got to grips with in the demo was the use of the attack ghosts. I wasn't using them enough. And one of the things that they... One of the things that they specifically point out in the kind of journalist notes that accompany this kind of press release thing is that you should be using your attack ghosts at every opportunity because your spirit, which is your blue gauge, comes back pretty quickly. You know, it's the spirits of the whole... Well, they're not the whole combat system, but they're one of the things that makes the combat system a little bit different to other Metroidvania titles.
Fezziwig, forgive my intrusion.
You do not need to apologize, Fezziwig. You are great help.
If you continue right, you'll find a save room. A save room is where you can save progress and replenish your health and spirit. Look for the sign with a feather pen. Every save room has this sign nearby.
Thank you, Fezziwig. I vaguely recall that the shortage of save rooms was a bit of a concern in the demo. I wonder whether that shall have changed. Right, we need the balloon kick ability for that. Did I hit that apple out the air, or did I just take damage? No, I did not take damage. I do still find it a little bit weird that you can't transition between areas. Hello, Mr. Lamplighter. You there, Ebenezer. Stop for a moment by my lamp flames. How do you know my name, Spirit? I know much about the people of London, and most would prefer I not know it. Ah, yes, I do remember you, Lamplighter. You are quite the town whisperer, quite proud of your gossip. Yes, proud then, but not now. I lit my flame to catch your attention. I need your assistance. A journalist, Salvatore Garcia, is writing a story about the accident in the Malthus family. If published, it'll shine light on the dangerous working conditions across London. He's delivering his article tonight, but I fear with the unrest on the streets he could be hurt or injured. No escort will be required. I only need you to ensure his path is well lit. Snow has covered many of the street lamps along his path. Clear them off. Ensure his path is safely lit. I am happy to help, but I do not make an imposing escort. Lamplighter's quest has been updated. Yeah, there is a focus on the kind of general theme of charity and tying into A Christmas Carol here. And if you didn't like the book, which is fine, a lot of the students that I've taught it to didn't particularly like it, at least at the start, though some of them came to appreciate it more a little bit later on. But it does mean that the story is more of a focus than in some metroidvania games. So if you are really wanting action, balls to the wall, don't care about the story, this might not necessarily be the title for you. I haven't seen Phoebe today. I'm worried about her. You! I know you. You're Ebenezer Scrooge. You're that rich, miserly old man that yells at children for laughing too loud. You made my friend cry. Yes, young man, I regret to say this is so. London has been generous with the laughter of children, and I found it quite a bother at the time. I'd like to make amends. Is your friend nearby? I'd like to apologise. Phoebe's in trouble. She snuck into a building to the right looking for food without realising it was occupied by Malthus guards. Now she's trapped and scared. Can you help her, sir? This nice lady here, Mary Ann, can take her to safety. You can find a way for Phoebe to exit the building. Of course I will help. I will find Phoebe and help her to safety. These are not the voices that I use when... No, okay, yes, they are. These are entirely the voices that I use when reading Christmas Carol with students. But I am well versed and practiced in the art of snarly British. That's what I need to do. Hit the snow off it. Ah. I should probably go back and check my footage. There's Phoebe. To see what has changed. Nah, I think not. Ember coal has been found. Foolish guard. It's you. Oh no. Oh, the Malthus guards didn't hear me sneeze. Is your name Phoebe? Do you know a boy named Buster? Oh, dear Buster, he was my best friend. My mother said Buster and I were to be married when we were of age. Were we not, dear child? I will help you get married. No, help you get out. Mary Ann's close by and she can take Phoebe to safety. There's a lever just above your head that'll open the door. I can help you get up there so you can activate it. Bounce kick ghost. Press X plus blah blah blah. Hop. Ta-da! Phoebe, are you okay? This house is dangerous. I must get you to safety. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm so happy to see you, Marianne. Please, let's leave. I'm scared. Bye. Thank you for following Phoebe. She was my best friend in life. With your help and Marianne, Phoebe's safe. I'll join you on your quest, Ebenezer. Thank you, small child. Now we can bounce on you to gain extra height. Boing. Boing. Oh, we don't actually need to press down an X. We just need to jump. Oh, that's a grenade. Gimme that cold boiled. 75 health restored. This is our inventory screen. I'd forgotten we'd even got this. There are 3 spirit kids that we can collect. I can't remember what those do. I don't think we even got any. These are essentially charms. Quests. We get a nice chunk of stuff. And they've got upgrade things as well. We've got a nice bestiary, which I appreciate. We've got some options. I'm not entirely sure why that is saying that, because it's not. Is this going to exit the game? Shoot! Damn it! So that was in fact exit the game, not... Right, do we have to do that again? Yes, we do. Dawn! Or do we? Well, we haven't got the cold... Huh. No, it has saved us. Interesting. Take that, chest. More good guess. I'm wondering, this feels easier. And I'm wondering, because obviously I'm fairly new to the whole thing when it comes to actually having even the opportunity to play games a little bit early. I'm wondering if I've got the journalist version. I know that's very much a bit of a meme, but maybe they've just toned down some of the difficulty that was present in the demo. Ah, right, so we can bounce on those normally. Where was the thing about the ghost? Ah, yes. So down and X executes a bounce kick. We can bounce on these normally without doing anything. But we can specifically do a down kick now which I'm assuming will help us bounce on enemy heads or something. I don't know. Right. So there was another pathway. I seem to recall that we want to get as much cash as possible because it was in short supply, and the things that were available to buy, some of which including quest bits, were actually quite expensive. And I seem to recall food was also quite expensive. Oh! It's gnawing at my ankles! Yes, must remember to use the ghosts, because, well, first of all, they upgrade themselves if we do, which is probably a good idea. Gold boiled has been found. Pig? Oh, this is Jasper? Welcome to Jasper's Wandering Bazaar and Food Court. I am Jasper. I offer an emporium of curiosities. Feast your eyes on delectable foods and rare items from all over the world. You can find foods on one page and rare items on another. Make sure to stock up before continuing on your journey. Mashed potatoes. Not me. Okay, so we've got Aaron's glove. Enemies have a 10% chance to drop health items. That's a pretty good thing. 1,000 coins. Adea's cloth adds 15% chance to critically strike when attacking a ghost. That we can just buy. This we have to craft. Aaron's gauntlet increases Caine damage. Doesn't say by how much. Ishan's golden crown, 4,000. Can just be bought. Buffs ghost attack damage based on amount of coin carried. Demetra's pendant, 500. Health recovers over time. Crafted. And purchased. Wolfhead, a large boost to spirit earned when striking foes. Or, and you can see that the consumables also not cheap. And that was a concern based on the amount of cash we were getting in the demo, but potentially not an issue in the full game. That's a grappling hook symbol. Ah, another quest. You're the woman that wants to buy a dress for someone? There you are, Musa. I know not why you fly off sometimes. I don't see a rat spectre or rabbit spectre. That is a beautiful bird. A bird? A bird is something that eats worms and corn off the ground. This is a falcon, and his name is Musa. As in Mansa Musa, the richest man that ever lived. Yes, he loved hoarding gold, jewels, and other fine things. I used to treat him as a bit of a role model in that regard. I used to so love having things, all things, fine things. I used to feel the same way, although looking back I received little joy from mere belongings. Unfortunately, when it becomes the sole reason for your existence, it leaves little room for much else. It's no wonder I ended up burdened by these chains. I can't do anything with those things now. Indeed, our opportunity to help others with our things is in life. I must do what I can. There are those out there with so few things. Perhaps I can make some of my things their things? What would that be called? Charity? Giving? Generosity? My things have been sold at auction, taken by princes and princesses around the world. Only my once favourite dress remains here in London, sold at a bargain to a wandering merchant. It is the most beautiful dress in London. I saw a poor girl wandering about, peering into dress shops on the east side of the city. She was admiring lovely dresses, but she had not a penny to purchase one. Can you purchase my beautiful dress from the wandering merchant? His name is Jasper. and then give it to this poor girl who would cherish it so much? A gracious gesture indeed. I shall purchase the beautiful dress from Jasper, the wandering merchant, so that the poor girl can have it. Falconer's Quest has been updated. Yes, I find it very odd that transitions halt your jump. So that costs, was it 500? Yeah. Huh. That strikes me as something that we're going to have to scrimp and save for. Nope. Right. Train station. Couldn't use. Yeah, this is our fast travel point. But until we find another one. This is the journalist guy. No, this is the watch guy. I arrived much too early to meet a friend. My pocket watch does not keep good time. Blet, 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 blets. Now. The icons on the map are quite nice and crisp. This is the alchemist person. I am Casimir. If you are looking to increase your capacity for health, I can help you if you find the rare items I seek. Come back when you've found another mugwort and 2 sand. A nice spectral gate, which I don't recall being there previously, but it has been a little while. Boing, boing. I will keep on saying boing. Sorry if that's irritating. One thing I'm... Okay, so an upper arrow for upgrades. One thing I'm noting is that we haven't found another save point for a while. But that being said... Oh, there's... Considering it makes a very particular noise. Yeah, just like that. Clearly, I'm a voice actor. You'd think I'd notice it a little bit more, but no. We could really do with another save points. I'm sorry, Snowman. Did it say that we have to defeat enemies using this ghost? Ow. I assume that means just having to ensure we hit them once, not we land in the killing blow. We have found 2 wadi sand. But we need one more. We need one more mugworts. I wonder if these things can be farmed. Okay. Not getting through there until we have some kind of ghostly dash. I don't remember that from the demo. Take that. I haven't yet figured out what the rules are for enemy respawns. Oh, whoop. Straight into it. Oh. Oh, yeah. So we have to do all of that again. Because save points are few and far between. It's a very old school way of going about things. And unfortunately, considering the pace of the game is not exactly the speediest, yeah, we literally have to do the whole lot. There's no auto-saving or anything. And I feel that's a bad choice. You know, I feel that is going to put a lot of people off. And don't get me wrong, it's old school, and there's nothing wrong with old school as a kind of design philosophy. But it's definitely gonna. I think it's definitely gonna rub some people the wrong way. Ow. See, the thing about, let's take Super Metroid or Castlevania Symphony of the Night, or you know, whatever. The thing about those games was that there were far more save points around. And considering one of the most prevalent pieces of feedback that I saw about the demo was that the save points were far too far between. I do find it kind of odd that nothing seems to have changed in that regard. Rosemary. I shall destroy all of the lights in London. Right, I seem to recall we couldn't get in here, or we couldn't do anything in here. Yes, something to do with mirrors. I don't remember what we had to do with the mirrors. But mirrors were the thing. Weren't there more skaters here originally? Or was that another location further up? There's a chest up there. Right, so we can't do anything here. So we must go back the way we came. And I suppose I should go and save. Save little, save often, as the saying goes. And considering how irregularly the save points seem to still be, unfortunately, located. It kind of feels that they've very much taken a lot of cues from Symphony of the Night as regards the kind of speed of character movement, the general pacing, and so on and so forth. It feels very... familiar in that regard. Yeah, it's going to take me a good chunk of time, I think, to get used to the whole... Don't try and jump all your way through the area transitions, because it doesn't work. But because these areas are, you know, very, very nicely drawn and animated, but on the empty sides, I can't help but wonder if people are going to... I'm sure that there will be plenty of traversal abilities once we get going. I've probably even got some information on them from the development, but I haven't read that. Oh yes, this has a sequence of balloons, doesn't it? Aha! Chunk! More sand and the mugwort that we need. As I said, I'm trying to ensure... Whoops! I'm trying to ensure that I use the spirits. But the thing is, if it's not going to autosave this stuff, and it's going to... You know, it's going to require constant redoing of it if and when we die. That's not actually all that fun. Right. So we need to find... one more mugwort. See, those berries hardly heal for anything. What do they actually heal for? What does it say? They heal for 10. And I'm assuming we've got... I mean, how many HP do we think we've got? Does it tell us anywhere? It does not. The actual kind of feel and animation is very nice. You know, hits feel weighty. Doesn't feel like it's lacking in any regard. Just jump straight into that. We've got no decent way of avoiding that yet, but we will do. You know, I'm sure there's going to be. Right. Yeah, we still need another mugwort. Right. Through here was what? That was the thingy barrier. Does that get marked on our map? No. So this game is probably going to need... And there's no custom map markers or anything. I mean, there's certain things are marked on for us. But you'll notice that there's opened and unexplored path, and just because we've been into that room has changed it to unexplored, to opened, despite the fact that we've opened it but we haven't explored it. So it could do with just a little bit more info, really. Oh. Good chunk of damage from him. Oh. Ah. Okay. This is involves some memorization. Aha! Hannibal's satchel attracts nearby gold dropped by enemies. So that is our first heirloom. And it's essentially the magnet power. And I like magnet powers. I'm generally more of a fan when they are on by default rather than something that we have to equip. But, you know, especially at the early stage of a game like this, where we are desperate for currency. Collecting as much as we can is important. Okay, he still does that thing. I remember him, his collision going weird in the demo, so that hasn't been fixed. Yeah. Was a bit of a waste. Guess that's just to get back over there. Right, was this where the clock... Yes, the clock lady. Excuse me, sir, do you know the time? Yes, I suppose I do. Let me just find my pocket watch. Oh, I know that model. A very good and trustworthy instrument. Of course, sometimes it does slow down in particularly cold weather. If there were a few bad winters in a row, you should probably get it examined, or else you're going to be running behind. Thank you. Do you have some experience in engineering? I was a watchmaker by trade in life. One of the best in the industry, though you probably haven't heard of me. I never was one for fame, or talking to people, or leaving my house, ever. I see. For someone who seems to have done so little, how did you end up chained to the mortal world? Well, that's just it, isn't it? I never did anything for anyone else. I cut myself off from the good and the bad parts of humanity. Even when I was given the opportunity to bring a little happiness into the world, I chose not to participate. Yes, I was once also a bit of a hermit. I had the good fortune of having been visited by the three spirits. Perhaps you can help me with something. I had a man, John Hardwick, approach me to repair a family pocket watch and engrave a heartfelt inscription in the back for his son. I performed my job well, and the man was happy with the work. I later learned that he had died in an accident later that day. at the Malthus factory. I chose to forget about it, even though a small part of me urged that I tell the man's son about this engraved pocket watch. However, I couldn't be bothered to leave my workplace. I would like his son to have it. I think I can help you with this. Really? I'd be forever grateful. You could find the engraved pocket watch at the Malthus factory. His son's name is Fern, and you can find him somewhere here in the London city centre. He has many friends and often meets them for meals. We have met Fern. He was the guy with the watch who was complaining about it. It has been an awfully long time since we've had a save points. And I feel like we should probably have one by now. Right, this takes us onto the street with the... Yes. World's Fair. The Great Exhibition. And then through here we get the ice dancer, skater, ghosts things. Who, fortunately, I figured out we could just... Ow! We could batter. I think they take an extra hit or two. Right, this is the girl that needs the dress. Yeah. Just making mental notes of where things are. Oh. We're being none too subtly railroaded here, aren't we? But I do find the lack of save points a problem. You know, nothing kills the enjoyment of exploration more than getting really far and, you know, having just missed a save point off the beaten track and then having to do everything again. You know, no kind of autosave is present in the game. You know, we're up to an hour now, but we've probably only made about 40 minutes of progress. Oops. That was kind of gravelly. Ah. I don't know whether they actually do damage or whether they just slow us down. Oh, really? Oh, damn it. Pressing the wrong button. Another thing through there. But what there isn't is a save point. Aha! Yes, I feel that... Well, I feel it's a little bit too off the beaten track. But, save point acquired. So that progress has been locked in. Oh. Nice. Safe. Ooh, plus 400 cash. And some plum pudding. Okay, so the safes are going to be a big chunk of cash, which of course we need to make sure we don't end up spending on a load of consumables. 676. It's one of those mirrors again. But we can't do anything with it. Okay. Some bits. Aha! Thank you, Ebenezer. I would hope with all the taxes I pay this city, they could keep the street lamps in working order. However, I will do what I can to light this man's way. Select attack ghost with the quick ghost selection wheel on the bottom right. So we can now change our attack ghost. This guy creates fire waves.
You there, halt! You don't look like one of our factory's lowly drudges. Are you indeed the man responsible for disrupting the activities of my men? You must be Warren Gastrel. Command your goons to stand down at once. This is no way to treat people. People? Hardly. Soon it shall no longer be incumbent upon us to attend to the squalor of London in order to advance the grinding wheel of progress on behalf of the rest of society. You seem like a man of respectable means. I will give you one last chance to surrender and remain unharmed. Bah! Humbug! Ow. Oh. Nope. This is quite a cool boss fight. Oh, that actually hit me. Take that, sir. Boss number 1, defeat the first boss. 'Tis a pity the man of your station sympathizes with these peasants. Caspar Malthus has conceived a magnificent scheme for New London. I shall assist him in realizing it. Until we meet again, Ebenezer. Ah, that's that's the mugwort that we need. And this is the problem. I'm going to return to the save points, which is all the way over here. To lock in that progress. I do like that ledge grab.
backsliding definitely does not speed up the traversal situation. Right. We continue onwards into the snowy streets of London, acquiring a turkey as we pass. Fail. Some of these streets signs aren't working. These things are doing quite a lot of damage. Is this the observatory? Yes. Now, I seem to recall we couldn't get super far with this.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.